Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Rich Guzman.
Hi guys, I'm Anastasia Hodge, better known as Coach Ace.
And we are Ace and Rich, and welcome to a brand new live, your daily dose of marketing education. So we're talking about
feedback. Hi guys, I'm Anastasia Hodge, better known as Coach Ace.
And we are Ace and Rich. Yeah. I know who you are.
All right, guys. So let's see who actually can hop on. Give us some likes and some hearts, and definitely share this Facebook Live. You do not want to miss this training. You want to make sure that you're here, focus, pay attention, and literally share this. Share, and let us know that you shared, because we really appreciate how sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, right? All right, guys. So before we get the show on the roll, let's see who actually hopped on. Nettie Bat, my BFF just joined. All right.
Hey, Dad, how you doing? Hey,
Moses. From Jersey. Moses. All right, Moses. Hey. Warner from Thailand.
Hello, Thailand.
Karen Steinbrecker. Good to see you. Florida in the house. All right. Oh, yeah. Dee Charles just joined us. Hey, Dee, she likes coming all the time. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Oh, new person. Wesley.
How you doing, Wesley?
All right. Good to see you. Welcome. First time. Cool.
Tina.
We know when you're new. We can just see it, you know. Tina. All right. Cool. Awesome. Jason Hopkins. All right.
Jason in the house.
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
Cool. So we got enough people here. This is good. We're going to get this thing rolling. And if y'all still sharing, that's cool. And the two puppies are over here already.
Yeah.
Every time they want to be a part of the live, you know that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and let's talk about how you can craft your story. You remember last night we all talked about some really cool, important things, and then we basically gave you a little teaser about what we're going to talk about today, which is basically about my story marketing. Okay, my story marketing. Now, here's the question you want to ask yourself. Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Why should anyone do business with you?
That's a very good question.
We're talking about my story marketing here now. Yeah. So why should anybody do business with you versus doing business with someone else? You gotta answer that question, because this is what we think about, and this is what is asked of us in the industry. Okay? So we're going to give you guys some coaching tonight, so pay close attention.
Welcome, Kathy.
You want to be able, we talked about branding, right?
Yes.
Remember we talked about the 6 pillars, right? We talked about branding ourselves, right? And standing out of the competition. So why should anybody do business with you? Right? So when it comes to writing your own story, you need to take that into consideration, all right? When you're creating your story and you're crafting your story and you're writing it out. So we're going to give you some things here. Rich, hold him. He's distracting me. His big butt over here. Get Damon.
He's getting bigger.
Get Damon. Damon's gotten big. Okay. So move this out of the way. Let me show this over here.
See part of the live today, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to creating your story, you want to free yourself from anything holding you back from being vulnerable and being transparent. Okay. You want to feel free to share as much information as you possibly can about your backstory. What happened before you became successful, or how you're on your way to becoming successful. Because some of you are brand new. You haven't even hit success yet, right? So you haven't gotten success, but you're on your way, right? You're on your way. So you can talk about your relationships. You can talk about hobbies. You can talk about your hardships. You can talk about your failures. That's one of the big key things that a lot of people don't want to talk about, is how they're really failing, right? You don't want to talk about that because you're kind of embarrassed. You know, you feel like, I don't want to tell people how things are going wrong with me. But to be honest, we are one of the highest paid professionals in the industry. We get paid to tell stories.
Tell great stories, huh?
I'm telling you, if you live it, you can get paid for it. It's literally, our story is what's paying us multiple 6 figures. Why? Because we lived it. We know how to convey the information where it's entertaining. It really helps people, inspire them. So you got to think about your story, how you're on your way. Yes, Kathy, you're on your way. You can share your backstory, right? So talk about the failures. Don't leave that part out. That's the best part, right? Leave the failures in there. You know, any education, anything that you've basically invested your money into, as far as like you pursue more learning, you know, I'm not talking about traditional school. I'm talking about online marketing courses and things like that you're investing into to increase your intellectual capital, to learn more with personal development, and also learning more in your skill sets. Okay, so you want to add that in. Thank you for the hearts. Yes, you guys, they're getting this. They're getting this. It's good. So when you take that connection with your audience, okay, and you have that common ground, okay, you're building that relationship through your story with your potential customer. They're not your customers yet. They're still your prospects, but you got to learn how to convey this information in a way that it entertains them. Okay, so that's the first step. Okay, now when you're promoting your offer or your business opportunity, I want you to lead with your story. Think about this for a minute. Stop focusing on the sale. Focus on becoming friends first, not the sale. Okay, think about this for a minute. It's important to keep in mind that there are plenty other people that are selling the same stuff as you are.
Right.
Same
So
services.
how can you stick out?
Exactly. Same services, same products, same juice, same cream, same toothpaste, same whatever, right? Same service, same affiliate, right? You got to find a way and get real clever of how to stand out with your story. Okay. So even though other people are selling the same product, the same offer, same opportunity, you got to find that common ground. Okay. So what's going to make that person want to sign up with you rather than sign up with somebody else who's selling the same thing? Who's selling the same thing? Am I preaching here?
No, you're right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. That's why I'm not saying anything. I mean,
yeah, who is selling the same thing? Because see, we actually had that problem. When we first started, we were in a company that had a lot of affiliates. They were all selling the same damn product. So we were trying to think about how can we stand out? And we found a secret. We found a hole in the marketplace and we filled it. That's how we did it. We shared our results.
Our story.
And we shared our story. And we did it in a way where it was entertaining. And we made it fun, which is what we talked about yesterday. Remember, making things fun, right? Make it fun for your potential customer. And that's how we ended up getting sales, right? So now you got to think about that. Okay. How you doing, Spencer, Emily? Good to see you guys. I know there's a lot of people now jumping on. This is good. Okay. What's going to make that person sign up with you as the person who introduced them to the business opportunity or that wants to sell them their product or service? Okay. So let me move this here because this is driving me crazy. All right. So now the upside to all of this, okay? The upside to all of this is how you can make your story similar from past to present, focus on the facts, share about yourself, okay? And tell these people what they want to know about you. Because what they're looking for, I'll tell you in all of this, is they're looking to sign up with somebody or do business or buy from somebody who's going to be in business for a long time. They don't want to sign up or buy from somebody who's in for the quick sale. Don't look for it. Ain't going to happen. Right, Rich? You have to be in business for the long haul, not the short term. That's how come you're probably not getting sales. If you're marketing yourself this way and you're looking for a quick sale, I guarantee you're not going to have a good business.
And the only way to really get to the point that you're crafting your story and you're getting to, further down the road as far as your story as it evolves, is you got to continue educating yourself. You have to continue learning on the education and then take action on the education.
Yes.
So when the results start happening, you can see your story just start to evolve over time.
It will.
Right? Just like ours.
And it changed, right? Like we start out the basic story of homelessness. And then things started adding more to the story. We started adding more chapters to the story to make it more summary that it's going to be appealing to your audience. Okay. So the upside to this is that sharing your story, you're automatically going to appeal to people who share your mindset. They share your core values, the goals, the same goals as you. Okay. Like-minded, right? At least to some degree. So you don't want to rush this process at all. See, a lot of you who are just getting started online affiliate marketing and online network marketing are trying to rush this. You can't rush a relationship.
No.
How long have we been together?
8 years.
Going on 8 years. How long did it take us to get to know each other?
A little while.
A little while. A little while. How about you guys? Any married men out there? Right? Married women? How long did it take you to find your significant other? Right? It's a relationship business. It takes time. Do not try to rush this whole entire thing because it doesn't work that way. Right? Larry Hockman just joined us. Hey, Larry.
Larry, good to see you.
Awesome. All right. See, you don't want to rush into this, right? This is so important, guys, what I'm sharing with you tonight. I'm telling you, okay? So here's the thing. Remember yesterday we talked about 3 types of prospects. Let's review. Remember we talked about cynics, we talked about skeptics. And then we talked about buyers. So your story is you have one chance to break through that skepticism, through those skeptics, and make a good first impression.
Turn that skeptic into a prospect.
So you can get it right? Yeah. So you can get it right, okay? Now, when you're getting ready to write your story down, you can do it old school, okay? Grab a paper, grab a pen, or you could type it out. But I'm going to share some elements that you want to put into your story right now, okay? So write this down, okay? Rich, I need my notes. Thank you. Okay, so look, number 1, write your story as clear as you can and put some of yourself, your anecdotes, slang, charisma, canter, sense of humor, and keep your story more written as if you're having a conversation with a friend.
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah. Like you're dating. This is the dating game. You know, you're not looking for a pick-me-up. You're looking for a long-term relationship. Right, Rich? Right?
Right on.
So this is one part that has to come to the story. All right? Are you guys getting value from this? Oh, you may, but let me know. They got to give you some hearts. I need to see some hearts. Look at this. Look at the numbers jump up.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay? Number 2, don't overthink about spelling and grammatical errors. In the very beginning, when you're writing it out, if you make a mistake on your words and you can't spell, don't worry about it. Okay? You can always spell check it later. Okay? There are things that you can use online that actually will help with the spell check. So don't worry about it. Just get it in draft form. Write your story out in draft form. Okay? Just get the story written out. Take action. Okay? That's the most important part. Okay? Don't overthink it. Hi, Chrissy.
Hey, Chrissy.
Number 3. Remember, you want to make friends first and not focus on sales. Start focusing on your experiences and the truth of your story, the journey of it all, where you came from to where you're headed, to where you're going. Now, some of you newbies, okay, don't have a story quite yet, or you think you don't, but honestly, everybody has a story. You all have a story, every one of you. You know, you started somewhere, you had an epiphany, you said, shit, got to get better than this. I'm getting involved with online marketing. Hello? Right? Something pissed you off enough that you said, I've got to spend some money online. I got to find something that can work from home full time, fire my boss, go travel the world and be with my kids. Okay? Whatever the reason. That is the story. That is the part. You got to put the pieces together. It's like a puzzle. You got to put the story together. Now you're going to have to learn to write. This is number 4. Write your story with words that are so easy that a 5th and 7th grader can read it. This is so important. Some of you guys are professionals. My respect to all you guys. I understand you went to college, you went to Harvard, probably went to MIT, and you have this big, beautiful fucking piece of paper that tells you can get a job anywhere in your field. Guess what? That shit don't play in online marketing. Because we got people that can read at a 5th and 6th grade level that are still able to make money online and write stories so compelling, so entertaining that they're making $100,000 a month. Are you hearing me?
$100,000 a month.
$100,000 a month. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay? So stop overthinking it. Stop using, oh, I went to school, I went to college, I have a degree. That don't mean nothing. Okay? Don't mean nothing. It doesn't matter where you come from. I'm talking about the story, the struggle. Think about that, because that's what's going to really sell in this industry. Okay? None of that stuff matters. All that matters is how you're going to be transparent and convey this information that it is going to help your potential prospect believe enough that they can work with someone like you. Or they could go find somebody else, one of your competitors. Okay? Keep your sentences short. Okay? And straight to the point. As you're writing down your stuff and you're writing it on your paper, don't run on long sentences, because what you're going to do is you're going to confuse the person who's reading your story. Okay? Keep your paragraphs very short. Most people scan. This is why when we write emails for email marketing, we write with paragraphs and like after every second period, right? After every second period, we break and we bring it down so that the eyes go down the page.
Yep.
Okay. Most people scan more than reading intently on the internet. So long paragraphs can be very frustrating. At least 2 to 5 lines, optimal for your paragraphs. Okay. You want to use lists. You want to use bullets. You want to use subheadings. Excuse me. I get a drink of water. If necessary, use bullets, use subheadings. I like using subheadings. And if necessary, to break up the monotony of these texts and make it easy to scan for the eyes to go down the page. Okay? And your spell checker or your F7 key on your keyboard, that's to proofread your stuff. Or you can right click and, do that and spell check it with your computer. So, is this making sense?
A lot of sense.
All right. Woo. Throat getting dry. It's the allergies.
Oh no, the allergies are bad.
Yeah. So let's see here. We talked about that. Okay, now typing errors, if you're typing it out, is normal. But if your content has too many of those errors and they start to look sloppy, then no one's going to trust a sloppy business person with their money. I want you to keep that in mind when you guys write your Facebook posts. I've seen a lot of people do this mistake where they post sloppy Facebook posts. And they're trying to convey their story, maybe in their About Me section in their bio, and it looks sloppy. No one's going to trust you with their money. They have credit card in hand, right, Rich? Their credit card is in hand. Your prospect is ready to buy. It's up to you how you convey that information. If it come across sloppy, they're not going to trust you with their money.
That's true. Yeah.
They're really not. Okay? If you combine what I'm saying to you in these writing tips for, your story.
No, just like, let me just interrupt here for a second.
Yeah.
Just like our blog.
Yeah.
Our blog has our story the way, we wrote it out and everything. And every time somebody signs up to the blog, they say what? Oh, I read your story. Mm-hmm. I read about what you went through. I read about your life. Oh, Rich, you were in a band? Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Oh, Rich, you have a stomach issue? You went to the doctor? They couldn't help you? People don't know that about me until they go to the story.
Yeah, or Ace, you used to work at Staples? Oh my God, how did you make that happen?
See, you don't know until that story is revealed, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So understand the story is so powerful when it comes to your marketing. Mm-hmm. You guys got to get this, because one of the first things I learned in 2008 from this guy DK a long time ago, the first thing he taught was my story marketing. My story marketing. And this is what you're learning today. Understand what my story marketing is. Because if you want to attract people to you, mm-hmm. you got to have a story.
You do.
You have to.
Okay. So if you combine these writing tips for the internet with a little humor, which we love to do, we love being ourselves. We love bringing our personality out. That's what we encourage you to do, is write your story with your own personality. Don't try to copycat people. Okay. Then you have the perfect formula for writing your story for your My Story marketing. And those are the mechanics of creating and crafting your own story. So start writing today. After this training, I want everybody to write today. Take action, get out there and start writing your story. If you don't like your old story, scrap it. Need a new one.
Yep.
Write a new one. Seriously. The old story ain't making you any money. Change it. Get more better at it. Okay. So a great way to test this actual strategy with My Story marketing is to write out your story, write out your draft, and then practice it with a friend. You can read the story to, someone you love, and they can give you their honest opinion, right? They can give you their honest opinion. Honey, I wrote a story. I did My Story. You want to check it out? And then get their opinion about it and see their reaction. Because remember, the people that are not in our industry will give you a much better, open, honest, unbiased opinion about your writing than people who know you in the industry. Okay, so practice on people that have no clue about what we do in the industry. A home-based business owner, no experience, is fine. Practice on them. Friend, family, whoever. Practice on them and find their reaction, and that's going to dictate if your story is good or not. Okay,
yeah. And
you'll see their reaction. All right. So they'll tell you if your tale is engaging, interesting, or boring as shit. All right. So stay away from the sales pitches. Like I said, focus on friends. Forget about the sales pitches. Your story is your story. Okay. Once you get your draft all put together, pretty much what you want to do is, get those ideas on paper, share it with somebody, and start creating your headline. I want you to think along the lines of, okay, people dream of seeing something about them in the local newspaper, how something happened because of something, right? It has to be like a big headline that jumps out at you. Okay. So you write your very own headline. And most people I know have secret dreams of making this one day on the front page news, right? But we see it in the Times, we see it in the newspaper, we see it in the magazine aisles when we go shopping, it's always on the magazine, right? So the good news is that when you create your personal story on your website or your headline or your capture page or however you want to have it, the important part of this is the final product. So you're going to want to create a headline that includes parts of your story that connects instantly with your reader. For instance, you might consider something along like, okay, quote, find out how a burnt out former, travel agent went from living paycheck to paycheck to earning a full-time income online. End quote. Right? Like you can do it like the quotes. Yeah. George Carlin was like, what the hell is this? Right? Okay. All right. So you see what I'm saying, guys? Like you need to get crafty like that. So for example, find out how a burnt out travel agent went from living paycheck to paycheck to earning a full-time income online. Right? Or Jason Hopkins, for example. I know he used to work for the phone company. Find out how a burnt out phone installer went from living paycheck to paycheck to earning a full-time income. Cable? I don't know if these phone company.
I thought it was cable.
I think he worked for the cable company. Yeah. Or the cable guy. Find out how a burnt out cable guy went from living paycheck to paycheck to earning a full-time income online. Yeah. I'm getting some freaking ideas here, okay? Yeah. You got to think of this stuff, all right? Rich, you got one. Go on, shoot one out. Copywriting is a skill set, so you got to try this. So go ahead.
Oh, man.
Try another one.
I would say, because I use that one in actually one of my copies. I actually write burnt out musician.
Burnt out musician.
Former burnt out musician.
Burnt out musician.
Left, from being a musician to becoming an online marketer, or, just coming from where I was at and where I am right now. Just letting them know that I was frustrated, burnt out, overwhelmed, just not be able to really accomplish what I wanted to accomplish because it relied more on just than one person. Yeah. And I can tell the story like that, right? Mm-hmm. I said, but once I got started online, it was me that took control. Yes. And just go into that specifically. Right. Yeah. Or
traditional education, right? Let's say you just gotten started in network marketing and you are a teacher. Okay, you teach traditional school, high schoolers.
Former burnt out teacher.
Find out how a former burnt out teacher went from living paycheck to paycheck.
I got one.
Oh, you got one.
Former burnt out teacher escapes the rat race or escapes the school system.
You can play with it.
Becomes an online entrepreneur.
Okay, Rich. Yeah. You can play with it. Okay?
I'll go on and on.
You can go on and on. Here's another one. I know there's somebody here who's a mom. Okay, there's a couple moms in here, stay-at-home moms. Rock on. All right. So let's say discover how a stay-at-home mom used internet marketing secrets to create passive income while looking after her 3 children. Right? Yeah. Or 3 kids. Remember, we have to write it in a way that people can relate. Okay? They can relate, right? So Jason Hyman says cable. Okay, it was a cable guy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you get the point.
Many says, why are we all burnt out? Well, I mean, most people that are their jobs, not everybody, they're burnt out. They really are burnt out if you think about it, because if they're working like so many hours, they're trying to make ends meet, they're trying to pay the bills, they're just barely getting by.
Many of people that we have interviewed that have came into this industry, they will all tell you they've been burnt out working for someone else, regardless of what profession they're involved in. Nurses, doctors, attorneys, teachers, CPAs.
And you don't have to use burnt out.
You don't have to use the word burnt out. You
can use like for me, I was in Geek Squad. I could be like former Geek Squad agent, turns to the internet and cashes in big. You know what I mean? You like that? You like that?
That's a good one. Cashes in big.
So you get what I'm saying? So you don't have to use burnt out. You can just think outside the box and think of
stuff. Jenny says burnt out, stay at home.
Jason's the cable guy. See?
Cable guy.
I told you.
Well, Jason, there you go. You can use that line and freaking run with it, dude. Yeah. Create a capture page right now. Shit. Find out how a burnt out cable guy went from living paycheck to paycheck.
Former cable installer leaves the ladder. Okay. Comes online and crushes it.
There you go. Comes online and crushes it. Or makes $2K in a day, right? You know, you got it. And make sure you did make that 2K. Don't lie about the shit.
See, now my brain's starting to wake up a little bit. Now I'm starting to get
start thinking along the lines of these giant headlines. You're going to have something awesome for a capture page that will captivate your amazing audience and prospective leads and customers. I'm telling you.
Jenny says, burnt out, stay at home mom.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. It is good.
So here's the thing, guys.
Mom's running around with those kids.
Stay on topic. Stay on topic. So look, that's more advanced what we're talking about. Okay. Headlines, copywriting, all that stuff. That's all advanced. We teach that. We teach that within the skills of our system and business. So if you want to talk to us about learning copywriting, we can point you in the right direction with, learning copywriting, with a course or something. But right now, we don't want to go into copywriting. We'll be here all day. Actually, longer. So the thing is, it's a whole nother skill set, but you get the idea. So to see a really good example of our story, we invite you to go to aceandrich.com, which is our blog, and look at the My Story section and just read about our story. We have two separate stories. So the way it was written and crafted was because, Rich was in one side of the fence and I was on the other. I'm in another state and he's in another state, and we met online and fell in love. That's how it happened. So you can read all about it on our story, Ace and Rich's story, on our blog at aceandrich.com. That's where you want to go.
Where to go.
Yeah, show them, Rich, where to
go. All right. Do you guys see? Can you guys see the screen right now? I want to make sure you guys can see the screen. So this is our blog right here, aceandrich.com. And what you're going to do is you're going to go over the Ace and Rich's story, and you're going to see both of our stories right here. Anastasia's story, Rich's story. So let's go to Anastasia's story.
Right. And the reason why this is created this way is because we're a couple. So when you're a power couple, if you're in partnership with somebody and you're a couple, or you're a partnership, your friends and your partners, because we do have people that work together, they're friends or roomies. You can literally do it this way too and create your stories separately from each other and just have a tab for each story.
Right. And the reason why we did this way also, guys, because I've been on online since 2008. Met her in 2010, took her from that network marketing world into the online world. Mm-hmm. That's why we had two different stories and stuff like that. Pretty soon we're just going to have one combined story because of the way we're evolving.
Right, we are. We're going to revamp this story. So
but notice
of it though,
Notice like if I drop it down, here's Rich's story, right? So this is my story here. Notice how the paragraphs are short. Mm-hmm. See how they're like in bite-sized chunks? Let me just.
And the eyes are going to go down.
Yeah, you see how they're like bite-sized chunks, very small paragraphs. See, nobody knew I was in the radio station. See, our band. Like, there's stuff people don't know about me.
Look at that.
They don't know about my history. They don't even know about the music I've written and recorded in the studio. Yeah. And look at me doing backup vocals for a metal band right on stage, right? Like, I went through depression, right? Nobody knows. Look, doctors, they don't know what's wrong with me.
Man. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I've been told what's wrong with you, man. Listen, right? See, my dog. I miss my dog. I had a Rottweiler all my life. When people go through this, what's going to happen is they're going to feel like they're connected to me. They're like, wow, this guy's down to earth. He's real. My awakening with video marketing. This is how I started online marketing.
Oh my gosh.
The first brand, dream and become it.
That was our first brand. Look at that.
Look at this. I bought a plane ticket, my first event, right? Mm-hmm. It leads into internet marketing. My first, opportunity about talking on stage for a company called LGM Prosperity. I got asked to talk on stage. I was there as just to be somebody in the audience. I didn't know that I was going to be recognized that I was in video marketing. So someone's going to ask me to talk on stage, which was nice. But that happened.
Kanisha said, Rich, I'm sorry I have to interrupt. But Kanisha says, I read the story. It's better than Twilight. It's better than Twilight.
And you got my coach, Jeffrey Combs, my first millionaire coach that I hired. The same night that I spoke on stage, he spoke on stage too. And I hired him, and I learned a lot from him. I've learned to be a really good business owner from his teachings.
Notice how we use the actual photographs from the actual story to actually, depict it a lot better, because people think in pictures, and videos and pictures are great to interject into your story. So when you're writing that's going to be a great way to break things up so that people feel more connected with your voice, with your, with your charisma, with your personality, like we got like the whole thing on here, man. Like you'll know about Ace and Rich in the matter of, just diving into the story and reading this whole thing.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, and when you watch this video here, you're gonna be like, who's that?
You won't recognize me.
See?
Yeah.
So, hey, mindset training.
I've grown so much from personal development. I don't sound like this anymore. I don't talk like that anymore either.
Now, when I met Anastasia had a son. That's part of the story.
I was a single mom.
Got a picture of me and Angel sticking our tongues out, right?
Yeah, you guys bonded.
Yeah. See, so as you can see, guys, the story is so important because it gets people connected personally to you. Okay? When you get personally connected, that's how it happens.
Yes.
That's how people actually get connected to you guys.
You want to go get him?
Okay, so now you guys saw the story. So head on over to Ace and Rich, guys. Just go to Ace and Rich story, choose Anastasia or Rich.
Whichever one you want to read. You want to read about me first, you can read about me, or you can read about Rich first. It doesn't matter. The point is, get an idea of how to write your story, both from a male perspective and a female perspective.
As you can see here, it's where she worked, her failed marriage, depression, near death. Oh, you have no idea.
Oh, my near-death experience.
She believes in Jesus. She believes
how I
in
got
God,
saved
right?
by Jesus, yeah.
Right, see? There's Angel when he was younger. Aw, right? Yeah, the old video, right?
My old YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I think it's still up too.
So you can learn a lot about us, right? And you can learn a lot about how to write stories, right? I'm telling you guys, if you understand this and you learn this, when people see this kind of stuff,
they feel connected to you.
They feel connected to you.
They will. Yeah.
That's the power of my story marketing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's why we said you can't rush this. You have to take your time on it, but really do the due diligence, do the dirty work, write your story out, imperfect as it is, but it's your story. And then later on, you can either outsource it and have somebody type it up, but I recommend that you write your own story because it's your story. You don't want nobody writing your story.
All right, guys, 10 minutes on the clock. I'm going to take some Q&A right now, okay? See that? It's getting started. Let's do it. Any questions that you have on my story marketing, anything that we talked about today, okay, in this past, almost 45 minutes?
No, not even.
About a half hour.
30 minutes.
Right, so a half hour, right? So now, if you have any questions on what we talked about the last 30 minutes, now's the time to ask these questions. So we can help elaborate a little bit for you to help you understand. Because for me, it was new for me when I first got started in 2008. I was told, like, Rich, my story marketing, Rich, my story marketing, my story marketing. I was like, what is this, my story marketing? I'm a freaking geek. I'm like guy who does computers and I'm in a band. What is my story marketing? It was like freaking alien language to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you learn this stuff early on, you guys will be better off, trust me, because when you tell your story, people really start to find out who you are and what you're really about, and that's where the personal connection comes in. And this is why people don't understand attraction marketing and what we've been talking about for the last week, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It all comes together. What we're teaching you guys is high-level elite stuff that most people don't talk about.
I love this comment coming from Kathy Hurst. She puts in the comments, light bulb moment. Oh, somebody got an aha. Somebody got an aha. That's important.
I get aha moments.
But you know what, Rich, though? Even though you do that, I love it when I see other people getting it for the first time.
No.
Yeah,
but
it's awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The more you dive in deep, right? This is why I said I always get aha moments, because the more you dive in deep and you start learning more, right? And you start applying, that's when your brain starts to expand, and then you start getting more new aha moments, and you discover things you never knew before, and you're like, oh my God, like I didn't understand this before. I didn't see this before. Now I could really see it, right? Because sometimes you don't see things right away in the beginning, but when you dive in deep and you stay consistent and you stay with it, you'll start getting those new aha moments all the time. Like today, I had another aha moment about something that I didn't know before. It was right in front of my face, right? Because I'm always diving in deep. I'm always learning. And what you guys doing now, coming over here to these lives with Ace and Rich, okay, and learning all this stuff here, you're starting to understand more about marketing. You start to understand those bits and pieces that need to come together like a puzzle.
Okay, we need to take questions. So we have Diane Robin who says, I came in a bit late. Do we use these stories for blogs or emails or both? I never wrote one at all yet. Here's my take on that question. First of all, you write out your story And then what you're going to do is repurpose that story on all different mediums. So yes, you are going to use this for your About Me section, your bio, your blog, to have it for your About Me section in your blog, just like you see on aceandrich.com. You're going to have that on there. Yes. Okay. You're also going to have it as a foundation to work from when you create your bridge page, right? When you do your marketing. This is more stuff that we teach also within our system. And you have your bridge page. You can actually use your story to ask for the opening to put towards your bridge page or your own future VSL. Yes. Right? You're going to have that story in there. So write it out, get it done, because you're going to need to use it and repurpose it for different mediums.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, Kathy Hirsch says, I remember reading both of your stories, and I felt like I already knew you when we met in Arizona.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Like when you meet in person, right? That is so cool.
Powerful. When we're sharing with you guys, it's powerful stuff.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah.
Fact of the matter is, if they wanted to learn this shit, they had to pay for it. Right? And we're giving it to you for free tonight. So y'all gotta be sharing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I paid for a course with DK back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's actual training on this you have to pay for.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Diorama. You're welcome, everyone.
Patty Everett. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the live, bud.
Join the party.
Woo.
We're talking about stories.
Stories.
Yes. All right. Who else has a question? What we got on the clock? 5 more minutes. Okay.
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes on the clock. Go ahead.
Warner.
Okay, so Warner says, it is clearly understood, but sometimes difficult to write about myself as I have to overcome the fear to admit to have failed. Yeah, that's why I put that in there, Werner. You gotta include the fear and the failure part inside, because that will resonate with your audience, your target audience.
Yes.
They're already afraid themselves of their own fears, their own challenges. So if you come clean and tell them that you've dealt with some failures and you dealt with some fears, they're going to be able to resonate with you a lot better and relate to you more.
Absolutely. And put pictures of you scuba diving, man. You know what I'm saying? Put those hobbies, put those interests, all those things that are so interesting. Like when you told me about that you scuba dive, you saw a shark, you know what I mean? And like, those are stories, man. Yeah. Those are stories that get people connected to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, case point example, one of the people in that's in the leadership industry, more in personal development, mindset, and motivation is Anthony Robbins. If you read the book, Awaken the Giant Within, you will literally learn from him how he put his story together, how he talks about how his mom abused him, how he talks about how he used to doubt things. And, like you see this guy now, but the guy now, the Anthony Robbins, the Tony Robbins that you guys are throwing your money at and paying for to go see in seminars and workshops and things like that. That's not the same guy 10, 20, 30 years ago. That's his story. You see what I'm saying? And he's not afraid, Werner, to bring out that vulnerability of himself, to bring out that personality of himself of failing. He's not afraid to talk about it because he knows that if he talks about the failure and the fuck ups, people are going to relate to him. All right?
Exactly.
That's how Anthony Robbins is, And keep in mind, when I talked about writing your story out and putting anecdotes and, things that you do as far as like fun and sense of humor, occasionally an F-bomb is going to come out of me once in a while, and that's the thing. But not like before where it used to come out all the time, okay? And I toned it down a bit. And the reason why I've done that in my story marketing is I don't need to use profanity to get my point across. I really don't.
And I want to just say this, even though you look at a story and everything on our blog, you don't have to write it like that long.
You don't.
Okay?
Yeah.
You really don't have to. We've been working on a formula, a PDF to, we're still working on customizing it and everything else like that. So once we get it done, we'll definitely hook you guys up.
Okay, scroll down, Rich. I think I just saw a question just pass me by right after Werner. Okay, so Karen Steinbrecher says, is there a specific length that we should make our story? No. Write your story as free as you can. That's why we put this training together, because we want you guys to just get the draft going. But once you get the draft going, then you could read it to somebody and they can either tell you it's too long or too short, and they can literally give you some critiques. That's why I said share the story with somebody who's not in the industry, somebody that's not biased, that can literally give you a honest, open opinion and unbiased opinion about your story. See, when I started writing my draft, I wrote it like a book. I had about 4 pages long of my story written out. And then I had to type it up. And then as soon as I started typing up, that's when the ideas started coming, flowing. And I was like, oh, I can leave that part out. I don't need that. You know, it's too much, too little. I need to learn how to critique it myself. So that's why I said it's better you write it, because then you know what parts you don't want in there, or maybe they're just too long and winded. Right? So just write your story however you're going to write it, but it's going to be a part of your journey and a part of your marketing. So definitely keep your story the way it is.
All right, let me put something here. No, it didn't come out right.
No, don't do that, please. Okay.
That's not coming out right.
All right. Are you playing around right now?
No, I'm not playing around right now.
Come on, I need to see the comments.
I was trying to give him something.
No, you can't do that. Yeah.
Didn't work out as well as I thought it was.
Okay, go up. Go up. All right, let's see. Thank you. You're welcome. Diane Robbins said it's a Jersey thing. It's a Jersey thing. It is. It really is. But you know what? I will tell you this as a good sound advice about marketing. We went to an event down in Maui, Hawaii, and there was somebody who had a very nice, pleasant demeanor about themselves, you know, very, very polished, and never cussed a day in their life. Like, and then when they got involved in this industry because of their profession, like what they tried to do was copy us a little bit, and they tried to use that in their marketing. And then when you read their stuff and you read their content, you were like, that don't sound like her. Right? Right? So here's the thing. My biggest advice to you is don't try to be like somebody you're not. Be yourself and be authentic, because your audience will read between the lines and they will know that your BSO meter is going to go up. Their BS meter is going to go up, and you're literally selling them BS because that's not your story.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be like somebody else you're not. You don't have to portray or be like Ace and Rich. We are our own story. You have your own story. So
we can't
with you.
Right, because we can't like use anything that you do, because it's you. It's your story. Right?
Yeah.
It's unique to each individual person on here.
Yes. Okay. So look, I need this.
I got it.
No, I need this. I need to go up. I'm stealing the mouse from Rich, because if I don't hold the mouse, I can't. I got too much stuff here. Okay. Hold on a second. What is that? Right there. Okay, Rich, go ahead.
Okay. So I want to talk about something that was very important, but someone actually took it away from me. So now I have to go find it again.
That's open. It's right there.
Oh, no, it's not. 1 second, guys.
Okay, so Karen Steinbrecher says, thanks, so informational. Good, awesome. And Kathy Hurst says, tons of value today. Tina Brewer says, right. Keep it real. Yeah, excuse me. You got to keep it real. You really do got to keep it real. Dee Dee says, yes, I'm not good with faking the funk. Faking the funk.
Okay, let me break it down for you guys in a more very simple kindergarten type style, ABC type of formula. Okay, so when you're creating your story, you got to think about it's like your About Me page, right? So you go into the About Me section, like the way we have our About Me and stuff like that. That's our story. But put pictures out there, because pictures really are worth 1,000 words, right? And then tell your personal story. Talk about problems and then provide a solution, right? And then give a call to action, all right? All that stuff all entails into the story, all right? Don't forget the pictures and don't forget the personal story, and talk about a problem and then provide a solution, okay? Very important. That's another really good way to craft your story.
Yeah, definitely want to separate and segment your paragraphs with pictures. As you can see on our blog, we have a lot of that. That'll give you some inspiration, some advice. If you have no idea how to write your story on your About Me section, you can go there. Or let's say you're still trying to put your story together for your bio, right? For your Facebook profile. And you want to have it, also on your other social media networks like Twitter, LinkedIn, right? Pinterest, YouTube, however, whenever you want to create a social media profile, you got to have it congruent with everything else. So if whatever's on Facebook should be everywhere else as well. So that's why they want you to create the About Me section.
Right. So when you're opening up the story, okay, it's an opening statement. You're welcoming them, right? It's a welcome. It's an opening statement. And more important, be honest and open, authentic, trustworthy. So that way they could trust you because you're being authentic and you're being vulnerable. Vulnerability is key, guys. Okay. Talk a little bit about your background, about you, what do you do, right? Get into that, and then talk about the problem, solution, and the call to action and things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Tracy Lee says, glad I was in there this morning.
Yeah, a little more this time.
Yeah, a lot more this time. Yeah. Moses says, great. Okay. And Beedry McGinn says, thank you, Ace and Rich. You guys, the best. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let me see. K Stein Coaching says, so much information and value as usual. Yes, and we have way more people here that needs to hear this information, because a lot of them are leading with the the notion that they're going to sell their product immediately as soon as they talk to the first person they meet. And it doesn't work that way. You got to learn how to take your time, create your story, build your brand, separate yourself from the competition. Remember what we talked about yesterday, and you can watch all of our past videos. We have all of that stuff here within our timeline, and look in the video section. But honestly, guys, it's not about your product, your service, your network marketing opportunity. It has nothing to do with your affiliate. It's about you. You are the brand. This is why when you come and visit our home, our internet real estate, our casa, it means Ace and Rich, Freedom by Design. That is our brand. Right? We don't say what we actually are marketing. We don't talk about that. It's only what we're focused on is about us, because people do business with people, okay, that they know, like, and trust.
Yeah, it's a people-to-people business.
It is. Yes. It is. Yeah. Right? So it's so true, right? Yeah, Tracy says, just tell the truth always. The truth will set you free.
Yes,
yeah, it will. So we're over time right now, guys. Sorry about that. We didn't mean to do that. But, so much information.
More people keep coming on.
Yeah, more people keep popping on. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be one of those YouTube ones where we actually are on here longer because people just start flying in. You're like, why are you guys showing up late? Darn it.
That's all right, though. I mean, I don't see any more questions.
Yeah, no more questions, guys. I mean, we probably got we'll leave one more. Give us one good question about what we talked about today. That way we can answer you. Go ahead. We'll do one more, and then we got to go.
Shoot.
Knock it off.
What am I doing? See how unique we are? See, you see what I'm saying, guys? We do things differently. We're our own unique, personalities here, right? And I think that separates us from a lot of people, because we're just ourselves. And when you become yourselves and you learn to find your own voice, it'll work for you.
Okay, so Moses Whitman says, okay, this is the last question of the evening. How do you get your story into your blog webpage? Where do I get the info to do it?
As far as if you have a blog, you would actually, the tab would be like About Me, right? The About Me section. And then that's where you would put your story inside the blog. I don't know if you have a blog. You would have to let me know if you do or not. And if you do, we'll let you know exactly where to put it. As far as you're looking for like an outline, like I said, we're working on something like that and we're customizing it.
No, that's not what he's asking. No, he's not asking that.
Yes, he is.
No, he's saying, how do you get your story into your blog webpage? And you did say parts of it, but there's one part that's missing.
How do you get the info?
Where do you get the info to do it?
That's why I'm answering that question.
Okay, well, let me add to it.
Well, can you let me finish?
Well, go ahead.
See? Oh my God. Remember what the question was?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, all right. Just a second. All right, so I will let you know, guys, that we are working on a structure. So it'll be in PDF format, kind of like a little roadmap, right? So you could follow it, and we'll give it like an example and things like that. Mm-hmm. Just a generalized concept, ABC style, very simple. So you could actually learn how to just start structuring your story from the get-go, okay? So we're still working on that, and once we get it done, we'll pass it over to you. But Moses, since you're on our team, ask that question on Saturday, and I can share the screen, and I can go over in our blog and show you how we put our story and where we put it at.
We'll take care of that.
Yeah.
As long as you ask on the day that we're actually coaching, which is Super Saturday, that would be the best time to ask.
Yeah, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, so it'll be in the morning for you.
Yes. All right, so that was the last question. We are pretty much done here. But now you understand how important it is, how essential it is for you to have your very own unique story and how to craft your own marketing story so that you could attract the right prospects to your business.
That's a comment, but I want to say that because Madhu said some very important. Story makes people understand each other better. Yes, absolutely. Huge aha moment there, Madhu, because let me tell you, when you actually create a story, people really get to know who you really are, just like we were just told a little while ago. They felt like they already knew us when they met us in person because they learned a lot about us.
Yeah.
So
it's almost kind of like surreal. Like they like surreal. You read the bio the way it was written, and then you go to a live event, and then you meet us and like, hey, it's like we knew each other for a long time. I'm like,
hugs and everything.
Didn't we just meet? You know, like we've been talking online and chatting for a while, but then when we meet in person and hug and stuff, and it just literally like solidifies the whole part and the whole process of building a real relationship from online to offline. So with that being said, my name is Anastasia Hall, better known as Coach Ace.
And my name is Rich Guzman, and I am Rich. That's my name, Rich.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in tomorrow, which is Thursday. Okay, we have 2 more days of this stuff that we got going on. We're going to be sharing with you guys some amazing, great content and
daily dose of marketing training.
First class only with Ace and Rich. Want to make sure that you show up for that. It's the same time, 7 o'clock. Okay, unless the gremlins of Facebook literally tries to protect
that
us.
Channel.
Okay, so tomorrow we will go over some more training in depth. First class with Ace and Rich. And you guys have a great evening.
Live.
Write your stories. Get that freaking paper out and start filling it up with your story. Let's go.
Tell them live, raw, uncut. All right, guys. Take care. Love you. Appreciate you. See you on a new video very soon.
We're ghosts.
Bye.